Hey, what is going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Christopher. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, to help you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. And what we're talking about today is not a topic you're going to find on your real estate exam. So if you're studying for your real estate exams, maybe go check out some of our other videos, or better yet, check out passfirsttry.com. But if you're interested in understanding what makes a good real estate website, and for that matter, a good website for really any business, because the principles we're going to be talking about today, like a lot of times, are going to be universally applicable, but we're going to specifically talk about smart real estate websites and how that fits into the picture. Now you might say, John, wait a minute, I thought you said websites are not something I should worry about. We're going to go over the pros and cons of a website and how it's not something that's going to give you instant success, but it is something that's going to help you build your real estate empire. And it's absolutely something at some point in your real estate career you should be working into your business processes, especially in the current day and age that we're in. Every day it seems like things move more and more online. So you having a presence online can really contribute to your long-term success, especially if your website is a smart website and not a dumb website. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What a smart website is, how it's going to give you an advantage, and not just an advantage to do more business, but provide a better service to your clients, which will also increase your referrals and repeat business as well. So this is something, again, that is going to be essential for your long-term success in real estate, and something you should be integrating into your business at some point, if not now, in the near future. So we're going to be talking about smart websites today. Again, what makes them smart, what are the things that it'll help you and your clients do, and how is it going to help power your real estate business. So I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrismo. We're here every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you need to get your real estate license, complete your continuing education or post-licensing requirements, maybe you want to get your broker license, give us a call, 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676, or check us out online at tampaschool.com. But let's get into today's topic of smart websites. Now let's just start with, what is the purpose of your website in real estate? What is the purpose of a website? Why do you need, as a lot of people say, need a website? And if you've watched any of the shows before where we've talked about the subject of websites, it is not essential to be able to practice real estate. To be able to do real estate, you do not need your own website. If you're just looking to do a deal here and there, look, a website can still help you do that, but it's not necessary. But especially if you want to build a real estate machine, your website can be an essential component of that machine. Now, when we talk about websites, a lot of things might come to mind. Pretty websites, ugly websites, fast websites, slow websites. And if we make these comparisons, we could easily say, okay, I want something that's pretty, something that's fast. But the thing that makes a smart website smart is that it works. Not really. There's some other things we're going to be talking about that really make it a smart website. But at the end of the day, this should be the primary goal of really anything it is that you're doing to lead generate, is that it works. If what you're doing is not working for generating leads, then what's the point of doing it? Or maybe is there something you need to correct or course correct? What, are you doing it wrong? Is that why it's not working? So the purpose of your website, we could talk about a lot of different things, but really the purpose of everything you do in real estate comes down to two things. Number one is going to help you get more clients, and number two is going to help you provide a better experience to those clients. That's the two things you need to do. Now, getting more clients. You could really get down into the specifics of, okay, well, what is it that's going to help me get more clients, and come up with some creative idea. And now, just like when you're doing lead generation, you shouldn't just have one of anything. So websites are ultimately something that you could have a multiple of eventually, especially if you get really advanced with it. But if you don't have a website yet, let's just focus on the one website. Now, what is the purpose of that website? That it works for generating you business. Because if that website does not generate you business, nor does it help you provide a better experience to your clients, it's a waste of time. So websites can very easily become a waste of time, especially in real estate. Especially when you look at the websites you're competing against. So you've got to not compare your website to just another agent's website, but you've got to compare your website to Zillow.com, to Realtor.com, to Homes.com, to these search websites that your potential clients are probably already using. Everybody usually has, if they don't have the app already, they're maybe just on the website looking at properties, looking at homes. Now the goal with your smart website, the part that makes it smart, again, that it works. And now how does it work? How does your website work? Well, again, the two jobs it has is to generate business, really generate leads. That is the primary objective, so keep in mind when you're trying to worry about whether it's pretty, whether it's fast, whether it's unique, or all these other things. Look, those are details that can help your website become better, but not by much, especially when you consider what people are usually looking for on these websites. So it should generate leads. That's number one. And then number two, it should help you warm up your leads. It should help convert leads. That's a web term, convert. That you want to convert your website visitors to leads and convert those leads into clients. And that's also another aspect of this that you've got to keep in mind, that the point of the life cycle it is that they're at. And this is, again, another reason why a smart website can really kind of help you stay top of mind, because at first this person is just going to be a visitor on your website. Now, if they're just a visitor, that's great. A lot of websites don't even get visitors, so the fact that you've got somebody coming on your website is already fantastic. But it doesn't matter if they come on your website, if they just come and go. Imagine you have a grocery store, some sort of retail store, some sort of retail establishment. If customers are simply walking in and turning around and walking out and not interacting with you while they're in the store, they're not business. You're not going to make any money off of them if they just come and go. So the visitors are great, but again, that's just a website. Any website can get visitors. I shouldn't say any, because there are things you could do that will make it so your website really doesn't get visitors. And when I say get visitors, that's a whole topic in and of itself of how do you get people on your website. And aside from the short answer of money, there's a few other creative ways that you can get people on your website, whether that's working your sphere of influence, past clients, or just doing good old-fashioned prospecting type of generation, lead generation. That maybe might get people on your website. But otherwise, if you want to get people on your website, don't rely on Google. That's a huge mistake that a lot of people make, not just in real estate, but just in general, assuming that having a website is all of a sudden just get you tons of traffic from Google. It usually doesn't. Why? Because Google is a tough code to crack. There's a whole algorithm that determines hierarchy of websites, and when you're a brand new website, it's almost impossible to quickly climb to the top of the results, especially when you're competing for competitive keywords. So, again, Google, write it off. It's probably not going to get you anything unless you're paying Google money. So how do you get people on your website? Well, if you're not just getting your sphere of influence, your maybe social media contacts, that's maybe some way that you could do some free lead generation without having to spend money. But when it comes time to really monetize your website, advertising is a guaranteed way that you're going to get traffic on your website. It just costs money. So you better be sure the rest of your system is dialed in and that you're going to be able to convert that paid web traffic, those visitors, into the next step. Now, if you're just sending people to your website, if you're paying for ads or really doing anything to get people on your website and your website does not work, it does not generate leads, then you're wasting your money. Yes, those people might know who you are, but the next step here, the next logical step, if we're going to do business with them, is that they become a lead. Now, what does it mean that they're a lead? When they're a lead, that means that we've got their contact information. They opted in on our website. Maybe that's just an email. Maybe that's a phone number. Maybe we got email, phone number, address, name, and all kinds of details. But they're just a lead at that point. And not all of your leads will become clients. So you want your visitor to become a lead to then become a client. And now once they're a client, Your website might still be playing a role in all of this here. We're going to talk about some of the things your website can do to help facilitate this process. But then ultimately, that client turns into a closing. Not all the clients will turn into closings. Some of them will turn into contracts. Some of those contracts will close. Some of them won't. There's going to be pieces falling off at every step of the process. So that means this number here, if you really want to monetize a website in terms of real estate, you've got to get people going on there. Now, we could talk about all kinds of strategies to get people on your website, but we could do a whole episode in and of itself of that. So what we're going to be focused on today is, again, what makes this smart. How does the website help you generate leads, and how does it help you convert leads? Well, a website in terms of being a smart website, I'll give you one example. An example that probably every single one of you have been on at some point, if not on a daily basis, is Facebook. Facebook is a perfect example of a smart website. The content that is on Facebook is living content. It's living, breathing, moving content. Now, what do I mean when I say living, breathing, moving content? It's not a static web page. It's not a biography about Mark Zuckerberg, and that's the only thing you find on here. No, that'd be really boring. It's a smart website. But it's not just smart that it changes for the user. So we could go on Facebook and see all kinds of videos, photos, web pages, all kinds of things like that shared from Facebook. And that's why users continue to go on there, to see what their friends, their family, businesses they follow, whoever it is, celebrities they follow, groups that they're in, to see what they're sharing. So that's what happens on the user side of Facebook. But what happens on the back end of Facebook? Because that's really where the smart comes in. And it's not just Facebook, it's Google, it's basically every big website that's out there. They're a smart website, and what makes them smart is that they're tracking you. So tracking is this big controversial topic. Because, what about privacy? What about people knowing what I'm doing? This is how websites work now. Everything you do online is tracked. Usually by multiple companies, multiple entities. There's all kinds of things like Google Analytics, where Google's collecting literally the data of almost every website in the world. There's Facebook, where not only are they collecting all the data that they get, not just from Facebook, but from Instagram, from Facebook Messenger, from all their different services, WhatsApp, everything it is that they own. That's their front end. Just like Zillow. Let's take Zillow, because Zillow is a real estate website. Zillow is a smart website. Zillow is living content, changing houses, newly listed, reduced price, all the same stuff your website should have. That's why I'm talking about the Zillow concept here. But now think of what Zillow's doing on the back end. Zillow is tracking the people on their website. They're sending out emails to people about their properties it is that they're liking. They're capturing leads. So it's helping generate leads, but this is where I think Zillow falls short. Helping convert leads. Look, I'll be the first to say Zillow does a great job at generating leads. Now, the leads that you get from Zillow, they're not as good as the leads you're going to get off of your website, but they're going to be closer to doing business usually because they're typically farther along in the home buying process. Maybe not. Zillow can be a crapshoot sometimes as well, but their website, they have a very powerful business that is based on one thing: generating leads and selling those leads to agents. So if you want to buy Zillow leads, you can go call up Zillow and say, hey, I would like X amount of leads, and they'll tell you how much that costs. And it could be as simple as that for lead generation, but here's the problem that a lot of agents run into, is when they're just buying leads off of Zillow, the people that are searching on Zillow, they're not assimilating with your brand. They're not being sold on you. And that's the part of your website looking nice, being pretty, and maybe having some content on there, because once you actually do have people on your website, that's maybe where you could add in like maybe first-time home buyer help articles or just whatever it is that people would consume, people would use. That's the key thing, again, that it works. It's either going to help you generate leads or help you convert leads. Now, your own website, there's a lot of website providers out there, and so what this technology is called is IDX. Honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know what that stands for. Something exchange, data exchange, the I, maybe international, I don't think it's international, something, but it's basically the technology that allows a realtor or brokerage website to connect directly into the MLS and basically tap into the feed of properties that are available in the MLS. Now, the MLS, that's something you usually only have access to when you're a member of the Association of Realtors. And the MLS is one of the most accurate databases that are out there. Why is it so accurate? Because they find the crap out of you if you put in data in there inaccurately for us realtors. So we're always making sure that we're entering stuff in correctly, because otherwise they're going to give us warnings and sometimes fines and penalties if our information is not up to date. So for that reason, the information you find in the MLS is very accurate and up to date, which is why so many people want to work with a real estate professional even when they could see this stuff on Zillow, is it's not always accurate and up to date. So this IDX technology, there's a lot of website providers out there that if you just search IDX websites, you'll find so many of them. Now, when I started in real estate, this technology has been around for quite some time. And when I started in real estate, my brokerage didn't provide a website. And websites weren't really new at the time, but they weren't even really more. I feel like pricing is maybe the same, and they've just gotten more advanced compared to then. But anyways, I digress. But when I started in real estate, I didn't have a website provided to me, so I went and set out to go get my own website. Now, I wanted a website where people could search for homes, so that way they could go on my website. But the thing I didn't realize until after the fact is the smart aspect of this, because there are websites out there that have these property searches. But now on the back end, and this is where it's going to really help you convert these leads, because the website alone should be able to generate the leads. It's just got like a form or some sort of box, some sort of sign up. They maybe want to view details about the property and ask them to sign in or something like that. So the website usually handles that. But now, what if you get all these leads coming in? Let's say hundreds of leads coming in off of your website. Now, that doesn't happen without a ton of visitors getting on your website, but eventually, once you start to build up some reputation on your website, or you just pay for advertising, that will get you visitors. That if you've got a website that's good at generating leads, it'll get you leads. But now, the next step is taking those leads and turning them into clients, which is going to take warming up, helping them understand the process, helping them understand what it is that they want. And so that's again where this IDX can be a really powerful tool, because a smart website is where that tracking exists, to where you can see who out of your list of clients in your CRM. So you want an IDX CRM type of combination, which, look, if you're doing this on your own, these can get expensive. So if you're a new agent, I don't recommend this if you're a new agent to buy one of these on your own, because usually something like this starts out at like $500 a month, maybe a little bit cheaper if you get one that doesn't have quite as many features. But typically it's like $500 to $1,000 a month for one of these really powerful systems that have all the bells and whistles and whatnot. And there's some cheaper ones out there that don't quite do as much. But again, it's a significant expense. Even if it's only $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year, which you sell one property, that's probably going to pay for your website cost for the entire year. And hopefully your website's going to help you sell many more than just one property. But when you're starting out, there's a lot of other things that should take priority over setting up a website. Again, this is something that can help you lead generate and establish long-term success. But if you're not provided one of these systems already from your brokerage, and now if you're a new agent and your brokerage has some sort of IDX CRM type of system, take advantage of that. Because if your brokerage does not provide that, that's a very expensive thing to get on its own. And even if that website doesn't quite necessarily have all kinds of features to it, it probably has some degree of being able to track your visitors' activity. So you could see which of your leads are going on your website the most often. Now, in addition to this, there should be maybe some sort of email or texting capabilities, because if they go on your website once, they might not ever come back. So you want to make sure you're following up with them. That's why when it becomes a lead, when they enter their info on your website, they should be getting emails, whether that's about information about buying a home, information about selling a home, whatever relevant information it is that they requested that would pertain to them. It could be maybe sending search alerts of properties that are available. But if you're doing these things, you need to be able to track, because not all leads will turn into business. Not all visitors will turn into leads. Not all leads will turn into clients. Not all clients will turn into closings. So you need to have multiple things going. You want to have many visitors, many different leads you're working, a few different clients that you're actively working with, so that way you're going to end up with at least one closing, if not more. Worst case scenario, you just end up with more. But now helping you convert the lead, so just getting them back on there and interacting with you, with your brand, with the properties that are available on your website. And these IDX feeds, they're not just your properties, it's everything that's in the MLS. So it's basically like you're giving them access to the MLS, not the full details, but basically all the info it is that they're primarily looking for that could be in the MLS is usually right there available for them to search on your website. And again, a lot of these systems where it's an IDX and CRM, those are two very important technologies. Now, the CRM ultimately I think is going to be more important, but the CRM on its own is just helping you track people. So we've done episodes on contact relationship managers, CRMs, and what they're there to do is help you manage the relationship with your contacts. But now, how do you get your contacts to have a relationship with you? Well, you could send them emails, text messages, phone calls, but what do they really want to do? They want to look at houses. And you could do it the old-fashioned way of you just getting in your car and driving around until you're sick of driving around with them. Or you could let them look at the properties virtually through your IDX website. And look, here's the thing. If you don't have one of these, they're going to be looking on Zillow. And there's a risk when they're looking on Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever these other websites are that they're going to end up with another agent. Now, why? Well, that's because these platforms have agents that pay for advertisements on them. And there's maybe some degree of exclusivity with these programs or something like that to maybe where if they are your lead, it'll only show your contact info. I've heard of these different lead generation platforms doing things like that before. But the problem is if they're not logged in, if they maybe look at it on their phone and not on their computer where they're logged in, they might end up with a new agent showing them another property. So that's the risk you run when you don't have your own ecosystem to keep your clients in. And so that's what your IDX website is. It's really your virtual portal to all the real estate that's available. So your clients can look at properties until they're blue in the face. And look, here's the great part about this is when you have one of these really powerful tracking combinations of IDX and CRM, you could see who's looking at what properties. So you could follow up more effectively with the people most likely to do business with you. If you're not using your website to help you prioritize your clients, you're going to struggle getting a steady flow of business because you're constantly going to be looking for where's my next deal, where's my next deal, where's my next deal. Whereas when you've got people using your website and there's leads in your CRM and you can see which leads in your CRM are looking at what on your website, who's the most active, who goes on there the most, who opens the most emails, who is responding to your text messages, that's going to help you understand who is going to be the most ready to do business because they're going to communicate with you more and get in touch with you more as they get ready to actually do the deal. And your website should be helping you convert those leads. So you stay top of mind, so they don't forget about you, so they don't end up with another agent. Because why would they when you're already providing them all the information they need? They're not going to end up anywhere else if you give them the information they need. But if you don't give them the information they need, they might end up somebody else. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stick with us. I'm John Christmer. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success. Or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christman with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. If you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching. And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor, where this week's topic is smart websites. And so we're talking about the difference between a smart website and just a regular website, a dumb website if you want to call it that. A smart website, number one, it helps you generate leads, but that really doesn't make it smart. That makes it work, that it generates leads, but what really makes it smart is helping you convert the leads. So generating the leads, that's going to be collecting contact info. Almost every website out there, at the very least, has a contact form. So pretty much every website has the capability of collecting contact info, but now the question is whether or not it does that well. It does that on a consistent basis that makes people want to give you their contact info of, oh yeah, I want to learn more about this property or whatever it is that is your gimmick, for lack of a better term, of why they should give you your contact info. But that's just the first step there. Just because you have your contact info does not mean that they're going to be a closing. You just have a lead right now. They need to turn into a client who will then become a closing. So now, how does your website help you convert leads? This is the big part. So generating leads, we're just collecting contact info, whereas helping convert leads, we're collecting data. We collect data. Now, what kind of data are we looking for? Well, that's what houses are they looking at? What price points are they looking at? How often are they going on our website? Is this somebody who actually wants to buy real estate, who's obsessed with looking at properties, or somebody who doesn't really care? Or maybe somebody who went on our website once because they wanted to check it out, but they really have no interest in buying real estate. Whatever it is, that this data that the IDX website can provide can be very valuable. So when you're going website, this is the task you're taking upon. This is the project that it is. It's not just simply setting up a page with your picture like an online business card. I mean, that might have its uses. You could have something like that, but don't invest a lot of time and energy into it. This is going to take time, it's going to take energy, and it's going to take money. So this is a big undertaking that, again, I don't recommend if you're brand new to real estate, especially if this is something that you have to do on your own. Now, if this is something your broker provides, if it's got these types of features and can do these types of things, that's very valuable. Can be very valuable. But now the question is, does it generate leads? Does it work? And does it help us convert those leads? Does it help us collect that data to understand what our visitors are doing on there so we can help sift through and reach out to the people who are most interested, most likely to buy? That leaves us having to deal with less rejection. That leaves us in a position where we're better able to understand and serve our clients. So collecting contact info and collecting data, that's what your website should be doing. And this, again, shouldn't really be something, unless you're like some web developer or something like that. Setting something up like this is very advanced, which is why the websites that offer turnkey solutions for stuff like this with a CRM and with IDX tend to be pretty pricey, because these are usually pretty complicated. For them to take advantage of the capabilities that exist out there, these are extremely complicated. But there's a lot of companies out there that make turnkey solutions that are very easy for agents to use. Some of them also very complicated, so that's also part of this as well. So again, this can be a big undertaking that is not essential for you to sell real estate, but if it is something that your broker provides to you, where you don't necessarily have some big multi-$100 expense every single month just to have a website, if that's something your broker provides, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that system you have to generate leads and help convert those leads. So we could go on all day about using a website to help you generate business, but I want to keep this at the basics today. A smart website, again, it works. It collects leads and it helps you convert those leads. It helps you do business with these people that are visiting your website. And this is going to be a long-term thing. So that's the other side of this with a website. It's a long-term investment. The day you set your website up, it's not going to be instant overnight success. Now, you just go give a bunch of money to Zillow to buy Zillow leads. immediately you're going to start getting leads, but again, the quality of those leads, they might be ready to buy, but they might not necessarily be sold on you, and then you don't necessarily have as much to help convert those other than just yourself, other than just you maybe going out there and showing properties. So that could be something that a lot of agents do find success with. However, there's also, with these platforms, having something like this, you could actually siphon people off of these platforms, get them onto your platform, your website, so that way you could start collecting the data, and that way they're more bought into you and your brand, as opposed to just going back onto Zillow, where they could end up with somebody else on there. So again, the long-term success on this is something you absolutely should be doing. But again, it's not going to get you business right away. So something like Zillow, you'll get leads right away on that. But having a website, you're probably not, the only visitors you're going to really get at first are people that you physically give that website to. Whether that's a friend or family member that you're texting to or emailing it to them, or you're maybe giving out a business card to somebody, and they might go on your website, but that's going to take a lot of you. Say, oh yeah, go on my website right here. Let me send you an email of this property on my website. That whole type of thing to get people actually visiting your website. And that's how you start with that, but then how do you get new people on your website? Google probably isn't going to help you out, just because real estate is such a competitive space. So have a plan of action for how you're going to get these people on your website. Do you have a big enough sphere of influence, whether that's through just people you know or through social media or something like that, where you could get a good amount of people going on your website? Maybe. But if not, there's a surefire way you can get people on your website, and that's through advertising. But that does cost money. And now there's a lot more moving parts with something like this. So again, this is a big project. This is a big undertaking. It's a big expense, which if you're brand new to real estate and this is not something your broker provides to you already, I went the route of trying to set something like this up, and it quickly burned up a lot of money for me. Because setting up a powerful, good-looking website that actually works is expensive. Might look good, but then maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it works, but you don't have anybody visiting the website. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts to really dialing this in and getting it right. But when it is done right, you could generate a lot of business, and this could really help you systematize a lot of your processes. So that's, again, a smart website. That's the only type of website I'd really recommend that you really spend any time on developing and building out for your real estate business. And I don't mean building that from scratch yourself. I mean utilizing these platforms that are out there and getting a system in place that helps you not only generate leads, but then convert those leads into clients. And then stay in touch with them, because remember, this whole process repeats again and again and again. So after the closing, okay, how do we get them back on the website? Well, why do we want them back on the website? Because they're going to want to buy another home someday. Maybe not today, probably not this year, maybe not even next year, but on average, 5 to 7 years, we're going to be starting this process all over again. But also during that time, you have the opportunity for referrals for your past clients. And even potentially people you haven't even done business with, but are just really impressed with your abilities and your helpfulness, that might just send you referrals just because they feel like everyone should go to you. Your CRM will help you manage that, and when your CRM is integrated with your website, you now have what they want to look at, which is properties, and your CRM that's going to help you collect contact info and collect the data of the people visiting your IDX website, so that way, again, you can direct your efforts to where they're going to make the biggest impact with your clients. So if you want to learn more about how to run your real estate business, how to set up your business plan, even figuring out how you're going to generate leads, how much business you want to do, how to maybe present an offer, a lot of these real estate basics. I know a lot of people that come out of the pre-licensing course, which focuses on a lot of laws and rules, and they study that and they're eventually able to pass their exam, but just off of that information, they're usually, okay, well now how do I actually sell real estate? And that's where your post-licensing course comes in. Your post-licensing is really a great fundamental class that goes over not all the laws and rules that you learn in pre-licensing, but how real estate business is done at a very basic, simple level. It's not going to go super in depth of how to set up a smart website or all these crazy things that are way more advanced, but it's going to cover a lot of the basics that, without a mastery of the basics in real estate, it's a lot harder to achieve success quickly, because the basics are things that are tried and true and that are known to work. Now, you could modify them and improve upon them to make your business have its own special sauce, but understanding these fundamentals will really help you jumpstart your real estate business and achieve success a lot faster than if you're just trying to figure this out completely on your own. So our post-licensing courses, we have live stream, we have on-demand, we have classroom courses. Give us a call, 813-333-2676. Or if you haven't even got your real estate license yet, we actually have some great bundle packages that include your pre and post-licensing courses. So call us up, we can give you any of the information on that. It's 813-333-2676. You can also check us out online at tampaschool.com. Again, that's tampaschool.com. That's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline, I don't need to do post-licensing yet, but look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing.